Good day everyone, we are the Group 1 and we are assigned to report the eukaryotes. But before going to the reporting, we've saved a video that tells or gives facts about our topic, so here it is.
Cell membrane, mitochondria, lysosomes, ribosomes, cytoplasm, nucleus, ER and Golgi body, the nucleolus. Cell membrane, mitochondria, lysosomes, ribosomes, cytoplasm, nucleus, ER and Golgi body, the nucleolus.
And yes, that's it. And I know you've get an idea about what is eukaryotes. So okay, let's proceed to our discussion, and here are our objectives. So our objectives are explain the origin of the eukaryotes, be able to identify and recognize the type of the eukaryotes. The students will understand the structure of the eukaryotes and be able to understand the characteristic of the eukaryotes. So what is eukaryote? Eukaryotes, archaeobacteria, and eubacteria are the three domains of living organisms. Most life forms that we can see with our naked eye are multicellular eukaryotes, which includes the animals, fungi, plants, and seaweeds. Many eukaryotes, for example, the dinoflagellates, the ciliates, and the amoeba, are, however, a single-celled and microscopic. The eukaryotic cell has a nuclear membrane that surrounds the nucleus, in which the well-defined chromosomes are located. Eukaryotic cells also contains organelles, including the mitochondria, the cellular energy exchangers, a Golgi apparatus, the secretory device, an endoplasmic reticulum, a canal-like system of membranes within the cell, and lysosomes, the digestive apparatus with many types of cell.
So good day everyone. So today I'm going to discuss the origin of eukaryotes. So eukaryotes evolved during the Proterozoic Aeon, approximately 1.6 billion years ago. Prior to the origin of eukaryotes, all life on Earth was prokaryotic, which is lacking nucleus or other membrane-bound organelles. The leading hypothesis, called the endosymbiotic theory, is that eukaryotes arose as a result of a fusion of archaean cells with bacteria, where an ancient archaean engulfed but did not eat an ancient aerobic bacterial cell. Next is the engulfed endosymbiose bacterial cell remained with the archaean cell in what may have been a mutualistic relationship. The emulsified bacterium allowed the host archaean cell to use energy release stored in nutrients, and the host cell protected the bacterial cell from predators. So next, as you can see, there is an endosymbiotic theory. So in the image, first is there is protoeukaryote, and next is there is a nucleus and endoplasmic reticulum. Next is there is aerobic bacterium. In first endosymbiotic event, the ancestral eukaryote consumed aerobic bacterial that evolved into mitochondria. And next is there is photosynthetic bacterium. In a second endosymbiotic event, the early eukaryote consumed photosynthetic bacteria that evolved into chloroplast. And lastly, there is a modern photosynthetic eukaryote. And next is there is a modern heteropotic eukaryote, and in heteropotic eukaryote there is a mitochondrion.
So, what are the characteristics of eukaryotics? So, first characteristic of eukaryotic is their DNA is found in the nucleus, in the cell nucleus. It is separated from the cytoplasm by a nuclear membrane. So, and the DNA is found in multiple chromosomes. So, we always remind ourselves that eukaryotic cells have the nucleus that enclosed within the nuclear membrane. So the next one is their DNA is consistently associated with chromosomal protein, which is called histone, and with non-histone. So what is histone? So Histone is a protein that provides structural support to the chromosome. So, while the non-histone contain protein that refers that are remain after the histone has been removed.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Luligin I. Argente. I am going to discuss the characteristic of eukaryotes. So let's proceed. They have a number of membrane-enclosed organelles, including mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, and sometimes chloroplasts. So let's proceed to number 4. Their cell walls, when present, are chemically simple. So what is cell wall? It is the outmost layer of the eukaryotic cells. It is important because it protects layer that protects cell from the injury or pathogen attacks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Cristal Joy Caballero, and I'm here to continue the fifth characteristics of a eukaryote. So, to each cell division usually involves mitosis, in which chromosomes replicate and an identical set is distributed into each of two nuclei. So, divisions of the cytoplasms and other organelles follow so that two cells produce are identical to each other. Mitosis is common to all eukaryotes. During this process, a cell parent splits into two genetically identical daughter cells, each of which contains the same numbers of chromosomes as the parent cell. Moving on, we have examples of eukaryotes. First, we have the plant cell. So plant cells are the basic units of life and organisms of the plant kingdom Plantae. They are eukaryotic cells which have a true nucleus along the specialized structures called organelles that carry out different functions. Plant cells have specialized organelles called chloroplasts, which creates sugars via photosynthesis, and they also have a cell wall that provides structural support. So, most organelles are common to both animal and plant cells. However, plant cells also have features that animal cells do not have. For example, the cell wall, a large central vacuole, and a plastid such as chloroplasts. Plants make their own food in a process which called photosynthesis. They take in carbon dioxide, water, and convert them into sugar, rather.
Okay, so good day everyone. I am Kristen Joy Incabiles and I am going to discuss about the example of the eukaryotes or the eukaryotic. Okay, so the animals. So the animal cells are eukaryotic cells or cells with a membrane-bound nucleus, unlike the prokaryotic cells. The DNA in animal cells is housed within the nucleus. It means that the animals is part of the eukaryotes because it has nucleus compared sa prokaryotic na walay nucleus na visible. And next is, in addition to having a nucleus, animal cells also contain other membrane-bound organelles or tiny cellular structures and carry out specific functions necessary for normal cellular operation. So as we can see in the picture, this is the organelles of the animal cell. And then the organelles have a wide range of responsibilities that include everything from producing hormones and enzymes to provide energy for animal cells. So these organelles is very important, jud kay diba, the organelles has function of its own, allowing the cell to live and work within the body of animals or something. And also, due to the lack of cell wall, animal cells can transform into the variety of shapes. And the next one. Okay, so we can see here the fungi, the organelles of the fungi. Okay, so the fungi. The fungi, Latin for mushroom, are eukaryotes, which are responsible for decomposition and nutrient cycling through the environment. The fungi are heterotrophic. They use complex organic compounds as sources of energy and carbon, not photosynthesis. Okay, so heterotrophic means that they get the energy they need to live from other organisms. like animals, diba? Like fungi extract energy such as sugar and protein from living or from the dead organism. And the next one is the some other fungi are edible while other is poisonous. Okay, so edible mushroom are consumed for their nutritional and culinary value. So for identifying the edible mushroom, we need to look for the tan color, like brown like that. And then the poisonous mushroom is muna siya ang naay white gills or puntik-puntik na white. So lastly is the fungi are not plants. Okay, so fungi are not plants because they cannot make their own food like plants, since they do not have also chloroplasts and cannot carry out photosynthesis.
Good evening, everyone. I am John Lawrence Cafe, and today I'm going to discuss about the protoces and also the nucleus. So protoces are one of the 6 kingdoms of life. Protoces are the example of eukaryotes as they possess a nucleus and the other membrane-bound organelles, or the structure that perform a specific job at one time. The simple organisms such as amoebas and the single-celled algae were classified together in a single taxonomic category, the kingdom of Protista. The protocells, like other eukaryotic cells, have distinct center compartment known as the nucleus. They also have specialized cellular machinery known as organelles, which perform the specific activities within the cells. The plastid can be found in the photosynthesis of protoces, such as algae. Nucleus is the membrane band organelle that contains the cells, chromosomes, and pores in the nuclear membrane allow to passage of the molecules in and out of the nucleus. So inside the nucleus there is chromatin or DNA wrapped around the proteins. It is stored a gel-like substance called nucleoplasm. As you can see, there's a nucleoplasm, and beside there is a nuclear envelope. The structure inside the nucleus is the semi-fluid matrix found in the nucleus is called nucleoplasm. With the nucleoplasm, most of the nuclear material consists of the chromatin, the less condensed from of the cell's DNA to organize from chromosomes during mitosis of cells division. That's all.
Endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus internal structure. So what is the endoplasmic reticulum? So endoplasmic reticulum or ER, which are organelles found in the eukaryotes, contain flattened membranous sacs, internal connected with each other. These sacs are tube-like structures which are called certinae. Certinae are held together by the cytoskeleton of the cells. There are 2 types of ER is found in smooth ER and the rough ER. Only rough ER contains bound ribosomes to the membrane of the ER. The smooth ER is involved in the lipid metabolism, rough ER, and provides sites of protein. What is the Golgi apparatus structure? So the structure of it is these are very small vesicles which occur in the different shapes such as the granules, filaments, and a root. It consists mainly small groups of hollow tubular structure with a membranous wall is associated and some minutes of vesicles and vacuoles. So the function of it is a concern with the synthesis and secretion of enzymes and hormones in the cell. So Golgi apparatus carries material synthesized by the endoplasmic reticulum to a different part of cell. The material is stored and packaged in the vesicle.
So hello everyone, my name is Dara Stephanie Cafe, and now let's move on to the mitochondria. So mitochondria are only found in the eukaryotic cells. This is also true of other membrane-bound structure like the nucleus and the Golgi apparatus. And the mitochondria are the membrane-bound organelles, but they are membrane-bound with 2 different membranes. And that's quite unusual for an intercellular organelle. This membrane's function is the purpose of mitochondria, which is essential to produce the energy. And that energy is produced by having the chemicals within the cells go through the pathways, in other words, be converted. And the process of that conversion is to produce the energy in the form of an ATP. Because the phosphate is the high energy bound and provides energy for other reaction within the cell. So let's move on to the chloroplast, which is a chloroplast is an organelle within the cells of plants and certain algae that is the site of photosynthesis, which is process by which energy from the sun is converted into chemical energy by growth. In particular, organelles called chloroplasts allow plants to capture the energy of the sun in energy-rich molecules.
So hi everyone, I am Camela Kim Kaliwang, and I am the next reporter, and I'm going to discuss about the internal structure of ribosomes. So, ribosomes are the molecular machines answerable for protein synthesis. A ribosome is created from RNA and proteins, and every ribosome includes separate RNA proteins complexes called the small and the big subunits. In eukaryotes, ribosomes get their orders for protein synthesis from the nucleus, wherein quantities of DNA genes are transcribed to make messenger RNAs or mRNAs. Slide is external structure of appendages. So, what are cells appendages used for? And what cells appendages do? So, prokaryotic cells regularly have appendages, protrusions from the molecular surface that permit the molecular to surfaces pass around or switch DNA to different cells. Longer appendages known as singular pillows are available in numerous kinds which have specific rules. For instance, a intercourse pillows hold bacterial cells collectively and permits DNA to be transferred among them in a system known as conjugation.
Hi, I am Natalie Jules Castro. I'm going to discuss about flagella and also glycocalyx. Flagella are minute, hair-like features that let a cell move about. The word flagellum means whip. Flagella have a whip-like loop and aid in propelling a cell throughout fluids. Few species use unique flagella as sensory organs that can detect changes in pH and temperature. Flagellum of the type depicted can be found in bacteria such as E. coli. When E. coli and Salmonella swim, the bacterium rotates like a propeller. And next is glycocalyx. The glycocalyx is the plasma membrane's thick outer layer. It is made up of sugar and protein strands that are bound together. The end result is a thick, sticky covering that helps cells stay put in high-stress settings. It is a highly hydrated fibrous meshwork of carbohydrates that protrudes from endothelial cells, bacteria, and other cells and coats their membranes. In order to do this, these cells make a glycocalyx. It helps important vascular cells adhere to blood vessels such as leukocytes and thrombocytes, which are involved in blood clotting.
So, plasma membrane. Plasma membrane surrounds the cell's cytoplasm and regulates the flow of substances in and out of the cell. So both of eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell have a plasma membrane or a cell membrane. But the eukaryotic plasma membrane is a phospholipid layer with proteins and cholesterol which is embedded on it. The cell membrane is an extremely pliable structures that compose primarily of two adjacent sheets of phospholipids, and cholesterol is also present on it that contributes to the fluidity of the membrane.